Well, hello, it's the normal playing guy, and hey, so I have some incredible news. We have two easy A's. These are going to be pretty good. So we have Future Gohan Int, and we also have Tech Super Saiyan Future Trunks. So this is looking really, really good. These could be. I mean, this might be a sub easy A. The Gohan for sure will be a standalone easy A. So that will be really, really good. So it's unknown whether or not you're going to get several stones out of this. And we have some more information on what to expect as well within the next coming in the next part of part two. So we have the new one. So obviously we were going to expect it to be the androids. So expect to have so yeah, there could be a new LR which would be based around 17 and 18 from the Worldwide Chaos Future Saga, as well as probably maybe an LR Trunks. Right now you could call me the Docking God or the Docking King. Feel free, because I have so far called every single thing that is happening. And what I've been more on the spot is with the Easy A's and with the new Awakenings. So we have new Awakenings, of course, for the free to play units. This in Trunks only just come out, and this STR Trunks. So he's been out for a while, but is finally only just come to an SSR. So he's finally going to have his awakening. So we're going to get a new burst mode, which we've already got. A new stage off the red zone for Dismal Future, really nice. But yeah, new stages altogether, infinite history, that'll be really nice. New events just in general, they get new stages. Mainly it's for these two, so that's going to be pretty good. And a new link leveling event, that'll be really nice. Anyway, who do we touch on first? Ooh, let's do Trunks. So I like this guy. This guy's great against a cell. So it remains to see if he's going to be like that. Now, it's pretty nice if you do it hardcore against a cell. Like, that's pretty decent. Like, you're going to be broken, do it in the right way. So let's have a look. Okay. Oh, I see. Right. So this guy in particular, this is done by Air Docking, but I believe he's copying Garish, Resh. Anyway, whatever. So it looks like he's put the old and the new. Okay, so Bond of Master and Disciple is a flat out 130%. So this would tell me it's a sub easy A, probably for the future Gohan, right? So the old one, greatly raised attack and defense, pretty good. So now you greatly raised attack and defense, but now you lower the enemy's defense. But otherwise, this remains the same. All right, okay, so nothing mega here. So let's have a look. The old one, you had 100% to stats. You gain additional 70% when an ally includes Gohan on the team. You gain 6 key and performs a crit when there's an android enemy, and you get bonus attack against a cell. So that's really nice. So he's based around a Gohan. Well, that's funny because the Gohan is, for him to transform, is based around a future Trunks. So that's pretty good. So they work really well together. So for future peace, so it goes up from 100 to 150%. Already a nice buff. You gain an additional attack, defense, and crit chance of 25% per attack, maximum 50. So that's only twice. So that's per attack. So if you get any additional, if that's what this is saying, this would count. So any additional attack would do it. So basically you'd be getting you get your 50%. You're getting the extra 50% from your stats. Attack and defense goes up by 25%. Any additional normal goes up by 50, and you have a 50% chance to crit, which is really nice. 3 key additional attack and defense when there is someone whose name is 100. So it goes up from 70 to 100, which is really nice. Gohan Future on the team. You get additional 6 keys, that remains the same, and a guaranteed crit when there is an android enemy, which could be good in the Dismal Future Red Zone stages or just in the androids in general. There's one against like Gamma 1, Gamma 2, Cell Max, that kind of red zone. That'll be really nice in there. Just having that additional crit would be nice. You get an additional 100% attack up from 70 when you face against Cell. So no additional defense when you're facing against a Cell, which would be really nice when going up against Cell Max. But I wonder if this guy would be too broken, because he's getting 150%. He ends up having a 50% chance, a 50% extra. He's basically getting 100% crit, 50% normal, and he's getting 100% attack. Which is just pretty ridiculous. Just against against a cell, which is absolutely broken. Otherwise, it's pretty solid. You do need to have Future Gohan on the team, which is pretty nice. You don't strictly need to be against an android enemy because I say with any additional attack, it looks like you will gain. It starts off at 25%, you build up to 50% chance to crit is pretty bonkers. Yeah, so he will have a very strategic use, perhaps in the new red zone. I don't know if he will be able to take too much damage, because remember, I mean, he's okay. I've link leveled him up for a long, long time, so I'm fully aware of this in the future. So this is great. I kind of predicted that this guy would come in use against a cell, and sure enough, Cell Max is a thing, and of course the androids, and of course Dismal Future. So brilliant. So that's actually really good. So I think overall it's pretty nice. Good to know that he has the 50% chance to crit just with any additional attack performed, which is really nice. If this is true, this would be pretty broken just in general. But of course, you'll have Gohan Future, which again is not actually the worst. We could actually bring him up for a better overview, and we'll see where he sits in terms of other trunks. So in terms of the other trunkses, so he's going to sit here. Here he is. So let's have a look. Well, the LR is pretty decent on its own, but really notice about it. Yes, this guy is going to have his awakening, so that might finally be something, right? So yeah, so I mean, this guy's actually pretty solid. This guy just has had his easy A. Fair enough. So this guy will be the strongest. He is a brilliant defensively stacking for long events, and then this guy he could be pretty good. He's probably going to outperform him in terms of stats, in terms of attack, up until a certain point when this guy's stacking will just continue to be better. So there's a bunch of easy A's. Like all the tech have had easy A's. That AGL has had an easy A. This is old by now, but then there's going to be a few. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of Trunks easy A's sitting in this. Let me just pause and bring up the other doc and wiki, because with that, I might be able to see just how well he fares with that future Gohan. So having a look at this, it looks like then that yes, there is some use with the future Gohan. However, the base version not so much. I imagine it's the Super Saiyan Link and the Golden Warrior when it changes is what's going to help make these two great. But otherwise, that aside, they will share Cold Judgment, Dismal Future, and Fierce Battle with these two happening when he transforms. So in base, I mean, you'll still get a bit. Hell, running Cold Judgment when this guy's probably going to have extra stats as well. Remember, these are going to have to the region of like 3,000 to the stats, right? So having extra defense, having the extra attack, it's all going to be really nice. So he's going to fit in really well. Obviously, with the new recent Easy A trunks, man, I've got a lot of videos to do for these guys. You're going to be sitting on that's a hefty amount of links there. So yeah, it's going to slot in supremely well, especially with Super Saiyan ones. All right, so now we are on to the pinnacle, which is a standalone Easy A for Future Gohan. This is Bond of Master and Disciple. He was the OG lead, so here we go. So let's have a look. So this is broken down between between the old and the new. Thank you, Garish, and thank you. Okay, and it's also done the Super Saiyan version. So, of course, Bond of Master and Disciple or hybrids. Wow, it's hybrids. So, Bond of Master and Disciple or hybrids, 170%. Dude, hybrids is getting that many top tier teams now. Like that like leader skills, it's getting pretty ridiculous. So greatly raises defense. Now we greatly raise attack and defense. So that's actually pretty good. So you're going to hit harder. That's fine. Remember, everyone gets like 2,000 to 3,000 on stats. So it really will matter. So previously you had 100% and reduced damage by 58% when you're under 58% HP, which was okay. Bond of Master and Disciple allies, 1 key, 30%, and then you transformed. So it's a nice support, but of course he did better in this. So what does he happen to have now? Goes up by 50% and gains 1 key. That 1 key will help massively on this, right? Especially with some possible links. Because like we checked out this particular one, and he's sharing... what does he share? Super Saiyan. So that is a key, but the rest, that is 2 key as well. Fair enough. But he's only getting this when he transforms. So it's nice that this guy actually has a key even in his base. which is all around said pretty good. So you gain an additional 50% to stats when performing a super attack, of which, of course, still greatly raises defense and now your attack. So that's pretty good. Let's have a look. You reduce damage by 58% when HP is 70% or less. Way, way nicer. Dude, that's way more appropriate. I mean, yes, the first hit against you, first couple of hits might be tricky, but 58% is no joke. I mean that's better than most items can give you, and you might as well just call that 60%. Hell, it's nearly 2/3. Having that damage reduction is going to be huge. Hell, that's more than AGL Zamasu, which is pretty bonkers. There is a HP restriction on it, so sure. AGL Zamasu doesn't. But yeah, okay, so you do reduce damage when you're under 70% HP. That's fine. That's not like 30%, or still at 58%. So that's still fairly reasonable. Bond of Master and Disciple allies now get 2 key 50%. So he's a straight up 50% support. Pretty bonkers. Bond of Master and Disciple. Do you know the kind of people we have in Bond of Master and Disciple? I'm just going to have to pull it up because Bond of 2 key 50% to stats is absolutely madness. We'll go with teams, categories. So, Bond of Master and Disciple. That's in the blues, isn't it? It is here. So who's in this? So take a look at this. So okay, so this guy, pretty bonkers, right? He is the 200% lead. Imagine him getting it fully built up. He's pretty crazy. Let's have a look. Yeah, he is a defensive support as well. Good God. Who else do we have in this? The recent Piccolo, Kaioken Blue Goku, transforming Trunks. He's all had his easy A's. Uh, dude, Orange Piccolo, Beast Gohan. Yeah, there are some pretty stacked people. AGL Gohan, Kid Goku. There is a lot of people in this. Best unit in the game. Uh, Given all of these people, the 52 key 50% to attack and defense is going to be pretty nuts. So that's going to be absolutely insane. And dude, this is just prior to him transforming. Let's have a look. 50% chance to guard when there's a person who includes Trunks on the team. Now, Kid and GT are out of the question, so it does mean you do have to be alongside this guy, right? You do have to be alongside this particular Trunks. But again, they work side by side. It doesn't have to be him. It could be the other Easy A1, right? He could have, he will do the same thing. So that's pretty good, right? Okay, so when he transforms, here we go. So you transform if you have someone on the team who is called Trunks attacking in the same turn once you reach X amount of turns. So if you do that, boom, you'll transform. If you don't have a certain Trunks on the team, it ain't going to happen. Right, so let's have a look now. So in this one, he stacked attack. This one, you still stack attack, but now you have a 30% chance to crit. Interesting. So there's no extra defense. You're going full balls to the wall in attack. But let's have a look. So previously he had 100%, but flat out reduced 58% with no HP restriction. You get 1 key 30% per Bond of Master and Disciple ally attacking in the same turn. So that's 2 key 60% to stats basically. So basically you get 160%, and then you get a guaranteed super attack additional against an android. Okay, so you did walk away with a 1 key 160%, so fair enough. Actually, no. 1 key 160% attack, 60% defense, but you did reduce damage. So what we're going to have now? 3 key. So you have 3 key 158%. Okay, so you're actually getting 100% extra defense on that. Actually, more 158% extra defense with 3 key. You gain an additional 58% when performing a super attack, of which stacks attack. So you are going to hit way harder. 1 key 40% per Bond of Master and Disciple category ally in the same turn. So that's actually 80%. So you're actually getting 2 key 80% on top of the 158, on top of performing a super attack, which is okay. So there's a lot going into it. Guaranteed additional normal, that's a 50% chance when there is an ally whose name includes Trunks, probably a future Trunks, and guaranteed additional against androids or future Saga. Okay, well that's not so bad because that means future Saga he's more applicable to run in the Dismal Future Red Zone. The most recent one to come out against it goes from is it like int? No, is it STR base form black and then it goes to int rose? Pretty bonkers, right? He hits ridiculous. Having that future saga is going to be really nice. He's going to hit way harder than people would give him credit for. So he is a defensive unit, right? Because he reduces damage, he gets extra stats, and he's having a big buff to his stats. So yeah, he's supposed to be a defensive unit, and yet he's being chosen to have an offensive capability with all these extra stats, with all the extra 2 to 3 thousand you'll get, period, with the stacking attack, with this, I mean, this goes up by a little bit. It's pretty bonkers. Yes, you must run him alongside a Trunks. I'll probably try and do a video much like I did with AGL Kale, where if you don't have a Universe 6 or a Caulifla, you're just absolute ass. But with one, yeah, you were pretty ridiculous. It was pretty fun. So this would be pretty good. So it was Rage Against the Machines. Rage Against the Machines, yes, fantastic. Okay, I think this is pretty good. Between the two, they're pretty decent, right? Trunks is pretty solid, and he builds up, and he has this chance to create outside of against an android enemy. But you have to have a Gohan. Whether this guy he needs a Trunks, but he also gains just way more stats. Like he has additional attack, and he has additionally a chance to guard, so that's better. This guy he doesn't per se get additional stats, right? But he does, as a his guard chance doesn't really slow him down that much, and the additional normal is not strictly something that it's not strictly something you'll miss out on. I do think possibly a weakness is there's nothing to the defense, right? This is kind of offensive, but yeah. Anyway, future Gohan, where's he gonna sit? So in terms of base, wow, yeah, he's basically standalone right here. But when we transform, the LR, sure. But otherwise, I mean, this guy's actually pretty solid. It also needs a trunks, right? If you have him on, sure, this guy can be pretty solid. They still attack and defense greatly raises on super attack. He still has damage reduction. It builds up. He does get additional bonus stats though with a Trunks, but much like this guy, yeah, it's going to be pretty ridiculous. So I'd imagine then this will be pretty decent. But yeah, so sure. So there are some advantages that you can run in this. So with in particular this guy, you'll be rocking Super Saiyan Golden Warrior, Cold Judgment. Now having an extra 25% defense with someone who reduces damage might just be really nice. So altogether, could be looking really good. Dismal Future and Fierce Battle again. Getting that nice 2 key could be really nice. He does also have a crit chance, which builds on the fact that he has X amount of crit chance as well, especially in base where he has it in his super attack effect. So that's going to be really nice. Anyway, you let me know what you think. I think both of these are going to be pretty great. I'm interested to know how offensively powerful this guy can be, and I'm curious to know how defensively powerful this guy can be, whilst also being quite offensive, it seems. So yeah, this is what we can expect. Remember, of course, it was going to be Trunks and Androids based, or rather, it was going to be the Android side because we opened up with the DB Super side, right? So it was obvious we were going to get this. The only thing left now for me to call out is, and it's a bit and ah because we're now moving on a little bit into the Android section, is I predicted there'll be an LR which so far there hasn't, and Int Black. Where is his EZA? So obviously, the longer they leave it, the more powerful he will become because he will keep up with the meta of everybody. But this is precisely it, and same for the LREZA. If you're going to have an LREZA in this mega celebration, there's only really one outstanding. Who needs it? But anyway, who knows? Anyway, that's it for this video. Before it goes on long enough, let me know what you think. But thank you, and bye-bye.